Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to be talking about landscapes. And I've done a little bit on this before, but I'd like to get a little more advanced into it. Do everything from curvature of landscape, your horizon points, all that good stuff. So today, I got beautiful landscapes to work with around here. I'm going to show you how to make your own beautiful landscapes and make them look really good. Also, I know some tricks that you can use in comic book sense to make things that don't normally look right look good, like fisheye cams of landscapes. That works really cool. You can get like that under the person kind of shot. I'll show you all that good stuff. Let's get started. Okay, today I'm going to be talking about advanced landscapes, like I said earlier. Now this is kind of a new thing I'm doing where I'm not scripting it as much, so kind of work with me. I'm trying to get this done a lot easier. So here, this is a chart that I've made to talk about the curvature of your landscape. Because when you normally draw a landscape, you draw like that. You got your horizon line. You got your focus point, everything goes into that focus point, and then you got everything kind of coming into one point. Looks pretty standard, Well, what I'm going to be talking about today is how if you manipulate this horizon line, you can create different effects. Say I wanted to create a more of a, which I have here, a view that's higher than the human's eye level. Normally at eye level everything appears to be flat, like this picture. But the higher up in the air you get, it becomes more curved, and you get kind of a shape like this. So if you curve your horizon line, it'll make the viewer of the picture look like they're higher up. Also, if you continue to go higher and higher up, that curve becomes more dominant, more let's say more curvy, and then it becomes eventually a full circle, which you would get, let's see here, you'd get a planet like that, the circle would come all the way around, and eventually you'd have your planet. So the curvier it is, the more convex it is, the higher up you are. And it also goes the same way below human eye level, which is, there's only a little bit of room to work with there. You got ground level, then you got your eye level, so there's only a bit of space in there. But if you curve it the other way, make it concave, you get this feeling that you're really small, or you're on the ground. You're lower than eye level. You're looking down, almost like you could be almost insect height. Which I will show some camera examples about this. Also, this will also curve all the way around if you go down to the ground and change your angle, which I have angles here to show you what I mean. See, if you go all the way up and you're looking down, you get kind of a bird's eye view. If you go all the way down and you start looking up, you get kind of a fisheye view. So, a fisheye view would look something like, let's see here, like this. Now, as you can see, I used a circle, so that concave came all the way together and made a full circle. Then I had my landscape come up around the circle. So this is like you laying on the grass with your head straight upwards looking at the moon or something. You'd have the landscape kind of encompassing around. Now normally in real life you don't see that, but when you do it in like comics or artwork, it gives people a sense of what's around them without ruining the picture. It's more of a fisheye camera. You know what's going on because you can see it at the corners of the paper. So after you get done with that stuff, you choose your curvature. You can use what I've talked about earlier, the rule of thirds, or where you draw your grid out. So let's see here, do a grid like this, which would be a tic-tac-toe board. And you choose any one of these intersections as a point to have somebody there, or have something there, normally in the foreground, your point of interest. So, say I had like a guy standing here. So, let's see, I just draw his head here. So, not a very detailed dude. I'm just being very quick about this. So this guy's standing up here, and he's looking off into the landscape, and you can tell he's probably pretty high up because this view of this curved view makes it appear like he's high up. So let's say he's on top of a tower or something. So let's make him hold on to a pole or something, or maybe a flagpole. Maybe he's standing on a flagpole. So you got your flagpole right there like that. Now he's up there in the air. He's probably on a water tower or something. Now, you can do this with any artwork, but normally it works best when you're putting characters or focus points into a landscape when you use this rule of thirds. Also, there's also the half and half rule, which I use a lot. It's a paradox rule. Like these lines here that are going off into the distance, if you say you wanted to put something like telephone poles. So here's a telephone pole. Then I go about halfway between my first telephone pole and my focus point. So about halfway is about right there. So I draw my next telephone pole. Then I go halfway between this telephone pole and my focus point. That'll be my next telephone pole. And then so on. Just continue having it. Then connect them, and they look like they're going off into the distance. It creates that depth effect, which you can use that from anything. You can use that from the panels on a spaceship. You can use that for railings or whatever you want. Telephone lines work really well. Also, you can. When I talk about having everything derived to your focus point, I'm talking about objects as well. So say like I drew a building here. This will be a simple square building here. Alright, well, if I make sure that all the lines go towards the focus point, I get that depth effect here. Now it looks like it belongs there. Now I just add my lines, and I have a three-dimensional object in my landscape. So that works with that too. Also, the horizon position matters. The higher up it is, the more you're looking down towards the ground. And the lower it is, the more you're looking up towards the sky. So, like if I take this bit here, and I put my horizon line down here, and then I build all my mountains right here like this, then I have all this sky to work with, and then everything seems to be looking this way. So this is where I put my spaceship or something like that, I draw a crappy spaceship up here in the air. It's not going to look very good because I'm doing this pretty quick, but so you got your spaceship, and then you can see that coming down like that, just rocketing into space because my focus point is up in the air. But if I did the exact opposite, where I put my focus point up here, then it appears that I'm looking down. Say like there was a town in this valley, I'm looking down on the town. I can still put my focus point in. I have all my little buildings down here, all my all the little places that people live. I'm not doing very good buildings here. They're like crappy boxes, but you know, have their fountain. So that's a tree, not a fountain. Anyway, you can tell that I'm looking down towards the ground. So that's pretty much the basics for that stuff. I'll get back to you guys when I get more videos ready. Hope this helps. See you guys later. Have a good one. Okay, before we go, I got these shots here from this right here is from a bird's eye view, kind of give you an idea of what you're looking at, and then you can see how the Earth's kind of curving. You know, you can use that, or this right here would be where you're down on the ground. I mean, you can see how it kind of gets kind of an upward curve, almost, just a little bit. Makes you feel like a bug, maybe. Makes you feel really low to the ground. There I am walking towards the camera. And then if you go low enough, like underneath the person, you get that kind of surrounding fisheye view with the scenery kind of coming up around it. Looks like I'm kind of going off in the distance. Well, thanks again. Have a good one.